Matt, when you're looking at UFC Vegas Fight Night number 3, there's some fights that are going to jump off the page at you, and this is one of them, and you should be definitely paying attention to this one. At lightweight, between the Steamrolla Matt Frevola and Frank the Crank Camacho. And Matt, it's a clash of styles. I mean, Matt Frevola, we've seen it in the UFC where he's excelled and struggled against certain strikers. I mean, his fight against Lando Venata that ended up majority decision was crazy. It was wild. And, you know, ends up a draw, okay, an end or a one, tack it on to the end of his record. And then his one loss, all right, Marco Polo Reyes, he got finished. You take that for what it's worth. Big win over Jalen Turner, a much taller opponent. Big win, and it was a split, but over Luis Pena, and we'll get to that one a little bit later. But he's taking on a tailor-made opponent, Frank Camacho, because Frank Camacho, for what it's worth, has taken on some of the toughest competition that you can at 170 pounds, but also at 155 pounds. And if you look at it, I mean, he took on Neil Magny way back when on The Ultimate Fighter. He's taken on Jeff, the Hands of Steel Neal. He's also fought Drew Dober at 155 pounds, and his striking is absolutely insane. His strikes landed per minute so far in the UFC, 6.68, to his strikes absorbed per minute, 7.14. He will throw down and get into some absolute wars. Do you see that happening in this fight? And we know Matt Frevola, and I kind of buried the lead. His wrestling is kind of his X factor.
Oh, 100%. So Frank Camacho is 100% Julian Lane's favorite fighter. Now, Julian Lane was very famous for saying, "Let me bang, bro," on The Ultimate Fighter. And that's really what Frank Camacho brings to the table. If you want a fight of the night contender, or if you want to ever try to get some bonus money, try to fight Frank Camacho, because he runs across the cage and just throws bombs from the second the fight starts until it ends. Now, we've seen him struggle with some technical strikers before.
You want to see a crazy fight, go back and watch Frank Camacho, Damian Brown. That was insane.
Oh, yeah. Really, any Frank Camacho fight, whether he wins or loses, is normally very exciting. And he really excels in those big brawls. And he's really good on the ground, too. It's something that he never really gets credit for because his wrestling's not all that great. But if he ever does get taken down, he's got really good jiu-jitsu, really good sweeps. He's able to get back up to his feet. And with Matt Frevola, you brought up the Luis Pena fight and the Lando Venata fight. Now, I understand those are very technical strikers who do have quite a bit of power. He got dropped in both those fights. He got knocked out by multiple occasions. And I thought he lost the Pena fight. I don't know about you, but I thought Pena won that one. I thought Venata won that one, too, because he was able to land some huge shots and put Frevola down on multiple occasions. It was just Frevola always has that really good wrestling in his back pocket. Now, those two guys have decent jiu-jitsu, Pena especially, not really Venata, but he was just able to kind of hold them, and it was control over the damage that they were able to acute over him. Now, with Frank Camacho, I think he is going to land those big damaging shots, and I do think he will get taken down at some point during this fight. The difference is, I think Frank Camacho is really good at getting back up to his feet, and I think if he is able to hurt Frevola, he can keep that pressure going throughout the whole entire fight. And if he's able to drop him once, he'll be able to put him away.
And it's a really interesting one. I think you bring up a lot of really good points. If you look over at the odds quickly, it's basically a pick'em fight. And it's one of those ones that's really difficult because, again, the X factor for Frevola, the wrestling, the striking of Frank Camacho is absolutely on point. If you look over in Tapology, a large percentage of fans going with Matt Frevola in this one, which might come as a surprise, overwhelming majority picking him to win by decision. Do you see it the way of the fans, or do you see it by the way of the fighter representing the Northern Mariana Islands?
Oh, the Northern Mariana Islands going to have a winner. And I just think Frank Camacho does a lot of things really well that Matt Frevola struggles with. And Matt Frevola, I haven't been overly impressed with his UFC career up to this point because it just has been a lot of very close fights. He's never had one of those fights where I'm just going to go out there and dominate my opponent. Like, for instance, I was really critical of Caitlin Chukagian for a very long time. And then in her last fight, she beat the brakes off of poor Antonina Shevchenko. And it was finally one of those fights where it wasn't like, okay, split decision, split decision, split decision. It was okay. I might have not got the finish, but I absolutely dominated somebody. And Matt Frevola hasn't had one of those performances, at least as of yet in the UFC. And I think Frank Camacho is going to be able to take advantage of that and put him away.
Matt, I'm going to be in agreement with you. Taking Frank Camacho to win this fight, really looking forward to it. There's a definite chance that this ends up as either performance of the night or fight of the night bonus winner, so you're not going to want to miss that. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks. We got an extended preview of Blaydes and Volkov in the main event. Matt, as we always say with Fight Night Picks, let's get into it.